It's New Year's Eve, and you're watching Good Deeds Blossom, Tzu Chi USA's 30th Anniversary Special Edition. Our series has so far highlighted how the seeds of compassion have blossomed and bloomed, from right here at the Tzu Chi Center in New York City to across the United States and Latin America. Now, we'll take you on a trip across the Atlantic to Sierra Leone in Africa. Once a place for trade with the British for timber and ivory in the 1600s, it later infamously expanded into the transatlantic slave trade. Though it officially ended in 1807, the country continued to face internal turmoil and conflict, eventually culminating in an over-decade-long civil war lasting from 1991 to 2002. More than 2 million people were displaced during this time, with the blood-filled diamond trade another vital piece of this puzzle. Yet, as the country strives to recover from its troubled past, it was afflicted with yet another devastating blow, and this time, for many, it was fatal. In 2014, the outbreak of the Ebola virus would crush Sierra Leone's economy. Though the World Health Organization declared an end to the Ebola outbreak there in November 2015, low commodity prices from 2015 to 2016 would contribute to the country's biggest fiscal shortfall since 2001. With Sierra Leone's most vulnerable and poor suffering the brunt of it all, and on a mass scale with the social devastation caused by the epidemic, Tzu Chi knew it had to extend a supportive hand. It began with sending medical supplies, dry rice, portable beds, and more to help support communities overtaken by the outbreak and offer comfort to those who had survived. Seeing the void left by it all, Tzu Chi has continued its support since, even after floods this August inundated the capital of Freetown. Nearly 900 families were displaced and over 5,000 were impacted. Tzu Chi worked with community partners including Caritas and the Healy Foundation to offer relief to families. Let's discover how.
Thank you very much, Master. I have drawn a lot of inspiration from you. The two people in my life that I've had a lot of inspiration from is you yourself and Mother Teresa. Those who have been faced with disaster and the very different people that we touch is their life every day. And we're very humble and thankful that we are in this partnership to serve humanity and able to make transformation and also inspire other people to do what is right for the good reasons.
Charles is so important. He knows the community well. And he has a big, loud voice. He knows the people, the person, the residents. He's a jewel of the whole project.
Most of the structures are slum-setting structures, and so the people live in this very poor community. Well, today we were able to support 71 families here at Wellington Baton Oku, and those are flood victims, people who actually had their houses damaged. But now, today we provided them with blankets and clothing.
The water go inside the place. The water reach with me now. So when it come, the water now reach with me. Understand? So he pour bucket in there for me. I'm glad it, so I give them plenty thank you. And I don't do well for me.
Generally, I say all the people that I serve are my people, but this is a community that I have historic connections to, and so it's much more different than the other communities that I have been in. I was a former child soldier, and I was captured and conscripted into being part of the child soldier on the RUF, the Revolutionary United Front. I saw what the reality is how painful it was when they were chopping people's hand off. I saw how painful it was when many women were being raped. I saw how painful it was when people's houses were being burnt down. Giving to people, giving relief items to people brings a lot of joy and fulfillment, because I know people who have been in difficulties. I was once in difficulties and I know what it meant when people are in those situations. You know, pains, and I had a lot of grief from my past. And part of the training that I went through was called the principle of Satyagraha, the non-violence communication principle, and how we can be able to express our anger, our grief, or our disagreements in a non-violent way.
So this is a Calvert community. As you see, the topography of it, it runs right from the dump site. That's the dump site where the waste generated in the city is piled up. The population in our community is about 14,676. And this was drastically affected by flood in 2015, 2017, and 2019. And this year, 2019 is the worst, because the amount of houses that got broken, you know, the livelihood.
Mohamed Sima, Mohamed Suma, Mohamed Lamin Sila, Fode Sharif, Masuma, Masila, Shaka Kagbo. Now wait small, yeah? Now I'm calling the last names.
What names?
Yeah? No, the last ones. So they don't have Z. Nobody there has Z.
Yeah.
Who has the Z?
Well, you better the show. You better for show. That's the way you better. You can't tell you better.
People will be very unassured of the fact that they may not get after spending time on the queue. Will always try to force their way through so that they be the first to receive and go.
If you continue fighting each other to crush each other, we cannot get job done.
I think it was our first time for Tzu Chi to be really involved in a larger number of distribution like this in Sierra Leone.
They lost their beddings, and so giving them blankets can actually help them to have something, you know, good on the floor, even if they have to just spread it on the floor. And that actually was the aim, so that we help to restore their lost dignity.
I'm staff from headquarters in Taiwan of Tzu Chi Foundation. My main role was to coordinate the distribution part of the trip.
And we had this limited time and space, and we want to make sure that they're happy and get what they need to get, because our desire is to bring smiles on their faces.
I get things them, blankets. It helped me for cold, for come and be picking there, for get mosquito. Tell God thank you, and give me that. Tell God thank you.
I see we can't get there, and most of people they're happy, they're glad for it. And me baby, I'm glad for that. But today we appreciate that.
It's after 7 o'clock in Freetown, and we're still out here at Calvert Community today. And we are almost tired. We're losing our voices, but yet we're able to still do it because of the love that's driven by it.
They are all good. They are brand new items. So we start to move again around the communities with joy, forgotten about the disaster, sufferings, and pains.
And once we're done, we will go and freshen up and have a time meeting where we will do debriefing. And tomorrow again, we hit the road and target the other communities. We want to continue to do what we do because it's born out of passion. It's born out of the desire for us to be able to transform lives.
I wanted to do something that is good for my life and also for the earth and for the people that's here, wherever they're needed, because there are so many around the world.
But also inspire other people to do likewise. Our actions, our deeds, the support and everything that we do must inspire the next generation. Otherwise, we will not be able to leave the impact that we want to leave.
Regardless of politics, religion, ethnicity, gender, or other, Tzu Chi is committed to offering compassion in the face of suffering, its heart and its strength. and how amazing it is to harness the tragedy of life to use it as a force for good in the people willing to overcome all their obstacles, like Charles. And in the process of distributing goods and materials, the journeys of survivors received a little light on their path, encouraged by Tzu Chi Volunteers and their fellow countrymen who have personally felt and deeply understand their suffering. And though Sierra Leone and West Africa at large still suffer the pain of turmoil and Ebola, Tzu Chi Volunteers from South Africa arrived to offer them some support and love. This included Tzu Chi Volunteers Lungelo Tabete and Matsibuko Nondumiso Ayanda, who have had a deep and long-standing relationship with Tzu Chi. Let's meet them now.
We going to Tombo. It's like a 2-hour bus ride. We having food supply distribution for 500 people.
We're having a big number of people coming to get the goods, so the distribution might be a lot more challenging.
有吗，Yanda？不要准备什么不一样的。
今天吗？因为我觉得我们2个礼拜以来有点 evolution， 就是有点一直在进化当中。
今天准备嗨一点。
准备嗨一点。
对。
想要怎么嗨？
就是先带一个健康操，让大家来做个运动。
健康操是台湾小学的那种吗？
不，有进阶版。
非洲。
对，非洲的进阶版。
不要到时候大家都在跳非洲。
那个姐姐也很会嘛。
We are right now at Tombo. 2016, 17, 18, we have been engaged for Ebola project. This community has been impacted twice by the torrential rain, 2018-19. That's why they really need help. We started coming back here, besides provide rice, and now blankets and multi-grain powder, and then clothing. The volunteer we engaged, they know what they are doing. Now is how we're going to communicate with the residents of Tombo.
Hi everyone. Can I ask the people here to take your chairs? Go this way. Go to the other side. Thank you. Yeah, abantu bonke sobaje mthabashonele. La kuzoba ideng tai chu. Angithi uyapawutaw, mase uzobe sene slip. This is the reason why we studied Chinese, to be able to
communicate with people.
To communicate and bridge Africa with Tzu Chi. Lou and I, we both from South Africa. We attended Amangamazana Primary School, which is referred to as First Tzu Chi School in Ladysmith. The school is one of the 7 at that time that was built by Tzu Chi. When we were in 4th grade, we go to Taiwan.
We were 10 years old. Master asked if we would like to go back to Taiwan and study.
If you guys want, someday you can come and study in Taiwan.
And then both of us happened to choose to go to Taiwan. Somebody from Africa going to Taiwan to study and then having people covering the cost. It was a bit unreal. I did public health and I'm still doing public health.
I'm doing laboratory medicine and biotech.
We were the only South Africans in our school. We were the only black people in our school.
We would like to make a welcome song to say, welcome to Don Bosco Family.
Welcome in the name of God. You are welcome. You are welcome in the name of God. We say thank you. We say thank you in the name of God.
Okay, thank you very much. You can sit now. Today we have the visit of Tzu Chi Foundation. We are working together in the same mission, that is absorbing the pain of the children in order to transform that pain in hope, in service, in a smile, in a project of life. And Girls Shelter Plus, there are 29 in this moment, are these girls.
We came here at John Bosco Fumble to have a distribution for both the girls and boys orphanages. Some of them had been prostitutes. They are also from brutal treatments.
Thank you, Tzu Chi Foundation, and we appreciate your kindness.
As Tzu Chi, we had brought some items that could assist them.
It's important for the child to know that somebody cares for him or for her. You can always have a second chance in life. You can stand up, you can look at the future with hope because you know that you are not alone.
We say thank you, we say thank you to you. We say thank you, we say thank you, we say thank you to you. We say more.
We came here to the recreational center to talk to the kids here, to encourage them, let them know that, okay, once they get out there, they could still do better. My name is Ayanda from South Africa. I'm a student in Tzu Chi in Taiwan and also a Tzu Chi volunteer. It makes me realize that we are there for the people. Once they have received their things and they're heading home, they would go and make use of it, which is the main aim, getting the stuff handed over to the community.
The team here, we are one family. If you cry, I feel your pain. If you love, I laugh with you. Whatever you do, we do it together. Coming here and meeting the Ebola survivors or the flood affectees changed the stereotypeness I had. I expected most of them to look like, they're sick, body-wise, mental-wise. Yeah, so I think it just removed the stereotype around Ebola that I have. People in Sierra Leone are always smiling, they're kind, they're fun to hang around with. 然后很开心可以看到很多的可爱的小朋友，然后看到很多喜欢唱歌跳舞的非洲人，就感觉好像回到家里一样。所以请施工上人放心，我们在非洲不怕被蚊子叮，也不怕晒黑。我们会努力的去学习，然后我们会每天开开心心的去做事情。
好。你们不会晒黑，晒黑也保持这样的。
It's just telling her what we're doing, how we feel, and then Lumelo tells her that, Master, do not worry. We are not afraid of the mosquitoes, and mostly we are not afraid of the African sun. It will not burn us, but we are burned now.
Because she tends to worry about, people getting sick when they're out of Taiwan. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you need to tell her, Granny, don't worry.
We're good.
Yeah. I don't have this feeling, of calling her master. We usually call her Granny. Back in South Africa, grannies are people who are very, very respected in the families. They are the people who gives, teachings in the family. They give us some life lessons, which is what she's doing.
师大毕业了哈，回去要好好当种子哦，当地种子造福呢。
On her side, we are just students, but on my side, she's somebody who's really close to my heart.
Master say we want to thrive Africa. Ayanda and Luga, they are from Africa, no matter which country. They can eyewitness to see and then enrich their knowledge. In the future, when we have project coming in, they can be part of the key planner and they can be our future leadership. especially in Africa.
Find a place to put your bag. Yeah. Put it somewhere there. You can stand here and give the guy clothes. Can you help me to do this one? Having gone through it all, I think it was quite an experience. Yeah, I'm glad I was part of the team. We learned a lot more than what we thought the situation was. And then we now know if we were to come again, how we should try to assist the people here.
Thank you. Yeah, go here. Thank you. And you stand here. Thank you. Being a Tzu Chi volunteer is having a really, really huge family. Your aunties and uncles of like different nations. Yes. 口说好话，心想好意，身行好事，脚走好路。
Wherever Tzu Chi goes, clear blue skies follow, and so will the support of Tzu Chi volunteers, near and far, in support of the global family. Still, recovery is a long road ahead for many in Sierra Leone. In fact, for the roughly 4,000 survivors of the Ebola virus, side effects persist. According to a 2016 WHO report, between 50 and 75% of survivors report joint and muscle pain. Others experience a range of eye problems caused by an inflammation that can lead to blindness. And then, roughly 1 out of 4 survivors report hearing loss. This is not to mention the staggering of mental health problems like anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorders, stemming from the trauma of the virus itself and the conditions many patients face in treatment centers. Then, of course, there is the social stigma, panic, and ignorance that surrounds an epidemic that causes many to be outcast and go in search of a community that will welcome and embrace their hardship. It will take many years, and Tzu Chi is committed to accompanying its brothers and sisters in Sierra Leone every step of the way. Tomorrow, we'll share with you the most unusual journeys we encountered this year that's left a deep and resounding impact on us. You'll meet 2 men who share a common tragedy, yet encourage each other to move forward in hope and in help. We'll also take you to the lively and resilient town of Bo and its more remote and surrounding villages, where you'll see the ripples of impact Ebola has had on communities there, and the compassion Tzu Chi has ignited in its wake. I'm Dilbar Shatterson, and you've been watching Tzu Chi USA's 30th anniversary special edition, Good Deeds Blossom. I'll see you in the new year.